Marhaba! Welcome back. Today I'm going to teach you how to cook Moroccan style lamb burgers. Okay, so what do we need? We need 300 grams of lamb mince or beef mince if you prefer, and 1 medium-sized onion grated, and 3 large garlic cloves grated or finely chopped, and 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, 1½ teaspoons of dried parsley or fresh parsley. I would say maybe a handful chopped finely, and coriander powder. This is a dried coriander. This is 1 teaspoon. If you're using fresh coriander, even better. Probably half the amount that you would use of the parsley, so I'd probably use half a handful of chopped coriander. And here we have paprika. This is a teaspoon of paprika and half a teaspoon of pepper and some chili to taste. You could just add, it depends how spicy you want it. If you want it really spicy, then maybe 1 teaspoon, but I wouldn't advise that. I would say maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder. And this amount of lamb is enough for 4 large size burgers, or you could make 8 small burgers with this. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to put all the spices into the lamb mince. So just pour them all in and mix it around. Make sure it's evenly distributed around. And the onion and the garlic. Okay. And the rest of the spices. And finally the parsley. And don't forget to add the salt. So just add enough salt for, if you are making more than 300 grams of mince, then obviously add more salt. But if you don't know how much salt to add, then just sprinkle it. Say ½ teaspoon should be enough. But the way that I do it, I just look at the amount of meat that I have and then I just sprinkle it over the top of the bowl. You have to be a bit careful with burgers because if you add too much, then obviously it's too late. It will be very salty and it won't be very nice. It's probably better to add too little than too much. So here's the salt, which is about ½ teaspoon. Sorry, a 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, so let's mix that around. If you want to taste it to see if there's enough salt in, you could taste it raw, which I wouldn't advise, but some people do taste it, especially in Morocco, they do taste it raw. But if you wish, cook a really small amount, fry a small amount, like say a pea-sized amount, then you're going to know if there's enough salt. If there's not enough salt, then add a little bit more. Okay, so that's all mixed nicely. Okay, so now to help it stick together a little bit more, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of flour. You can add it slowly, see if it needs it. This will help. Okay, a bit more. Okay. And we're going to add some oil, some olive oil. This is also to help it stick together. So just 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Okay, mix it. Okay, now it's ready to cook once you've mixed it thoroughly. We're going to shallow fry it. just for a few minutes on each side. Okay. So now the next job, you have to make it into balls, whichever sizes you prefer. If you want it like American style burgers, then like that, kind of circular shapes. Or if you want it like Moroccan style, you could do it smaller, the Arab style, like that, like balls. So it depends which ones you prefer. Okay, so now I've made them into burgers. They're ready to cook. So we're going to fry them for a few minutes on each side. So let's fry them for a few minutes on each side until they're nicely browned. So they've been cooking for maybe 4 to 5 minutes on each side. They're quite thin, so they cook quite quickly, and you see they brown nicely. Just press them down to make sure that the middle's cooked as well. So I would say about 5 minutes on a medium heat on both sides. And if you're not sure, just break a little bit off one of them to test if it's cooked. So what could we serve with these lovely burgers? Well, you can serve it with crusty warm bread. Well, another idea is serving it with sweet potatoes, fried sweet potatoes that are really delicious. This isn't really a Moroccan thing, but it's nice to add it. It's really delicious, so why not? So what we're going to do, I have some chopped sweet potatoes that have just been washed. I left the skin on them. And now I'm going to fry them for a few minutes. So the sweet potatoes are cooked. As you can see, they look delicious. It took about 15 to 20 minutes on medium heat. So it was frying quite vigorously. And now we're ready to serve. Okay, so now we have it ready to serve. Lovely lamb burger with cucumber salad. Any kind of salad you like. If you prefer it with tomatoes, then add tomatoes or lettuce. With some homemade spicy tomato sauce. And the bread that I'm using is a homemade pita bread. If you don't have time to make it at home, that's fine. Just buy some pita bread or burger buns from the shop. So now we have it served with sweet potato fries and salad, Moroccan style lamb burger. Delicious. Let me take a bite, see how it tastes. Delicious. Thanks for watching and see you next time.